I hate calling myself a non-reader. That is like the saddest thing ever. When I was younger, I literally couldn't leave my house without a book. Like, I loved reading so much. I am so over this period in my life of literally not touching a book. The only 2 books I've picked up are the new Hunger Games books that Suzanne Collins released in the last couple years. I'm obsessed with the Hunger Games, so that's not even very surprising. But both times when I finished those books, I was back into my reading slump. Like, nothing would interest me. I couldn't finish anything. I just was not as into it. And that is so sad. So I'm gonna fix that in this video. I am officially gonna be entering my reading era again because I'm gonna spend the entire week reading as many books as possible. And I think by reading as many books as possible, it's gonna show me that there's more out there that's enjoyable that I have no idea about yet. Today is Monday. I'm gonna make a cup of coffee and we're gonna get started with the first book. Finally, I get to talk about this series. I have been so excited to talk about these. First off, the covers, oh my god, these are the most beautiful books I own. Like, absolutely in love with these. These are the UK covers and I am just so obsessed. They are so pretty. So I started this series about a month ago. Without giving any spoilers, I wanted to show the aesthetic of the book because I feel like when I'm starting a new book, I want to see like the vibe. Like, what am I getting myself into? What world are we jumping in? This is the first one, Once Upon a Broken Heart. First one took me the longest to read. Then I started the second one, which took me about a week to read. And now we are starting today on the third book, which I started yesterday, and I'm already halfway through. I love this series so bad. This did it for me. Like, the last week, I have not done anything except think about these books, and that's when I knew I had to make this video. So it is Monday, and we are starting with the third book in this series. I think I'm gonna finish the rest of this book really fast, so let's get to reading. Guys, it's too good. I am gonna be so sad when this series is over. It is so good. You are so cute over there. I honestly don't know which I like more. Like, the second one was so insanely good, but so far this third one is really good too. Don't get me wrong, I did like the first one also, but I think these two are just on another level. Just like the descriptions of like the character's hair is so pretty. The main character in this book has pink hair, and I literally want to dye my hair pink so bad just because of this book. Like, I'm just obsessed. Like, I want to live in this book. It's so good. Back home. I brought my book out to run errands today. Like, I am that attached to reading this. I really think it'll have a good ending. I think I'm gonna be happy with it, but I'm still gonna be really sad that it's over. And my feelings are all over the place. Like, honestly, I think I'm too emotional to be a reader. It's like so intense every time. I stopped at Barnes & Noble to pick up another book for this week. We're not gonna talk about it yet. I'll talk about it later tonight after I finish this, but I also picked up a coffee and this muffin. I got a cinnamon muffin. There's a lot of talk about foods in this book, specifically the third one, and the way these foods are described sound like the most delicious ever. Like little treats and cakes and like just the intricate details makes me want to go to a cafe and get a little treat right now. So to finish this book, I figured I might as well have an iced coffee and then this cinnamon muffin just as like a little treat. I wanted to show you guys a bunch of super easy and delicious school lunch and snack ideas. I was always so bad at packing a lunch before school. Like, I did not have time in the morning. So I wanted to talk about a lot of healthy but convenient snack ideas, like something you can just grab right before running out the door, but that actually have high quality ingredients that support support your energy, mood, and wellness. So I ordered everything I'm about to show you from Thrive Market. I saved over $60 by shopping on Thrive Market. All of the snacks, meals, and products they offer are healthier alternatives that have high quality ingredients, and it makes it so much easier to find new healthy products that may not be available at your local grocery store. Like these Aloha chocolate chip cookie dough protein bars would be perfect to grab before headed out the door. They have a list of ingredients I actually know how to pronounce, and they are so yum. I am literally running out the door right now, so this is perfect to take along with me. I grabbed these super quickly from the kitchen, and I'm so excited to have something yum to eat on my way over. Shopping on Thrive Market makes everything super convenient. You can have an order automatically delivered to your house every month, which is perfect, especially during the school year, because sometimes I did not have time to think about what I was gonna eat. So this way Thrive Market can do it all for you, and you get free shipping on orders over $49. So you can click the link in my description box or go to thrivemarket.com/Jarell to receive 30% off your first order and a free gift when you join Thrive Market today. So definitely click the link in my description, and thank you so much to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video. I am like as pink as it gets right now. I can't do this. I can't do this. Oh. I'm sitting up in my seat. I cannot breathe. My stomach hurts. Like, I am sweating right now. And I can't. I'm like delirious at this point. Okay. We need a debrief. I have no words. This series was so good. These are the first books to get me out of a reading slump. I thought that reading slump was permanent, to be honest with you. Jax, I think I'm in love with him. I'm not gonna lie, like I was rooting for them so bad throughout this entire series. Number one, the apples that Jax is eating throughout this series, I think it's like a metaphor, like, and now that I've finished it and like I know what they mean, I feel like I need to go back and reread all of these. I do have a lot of unanswered questions though. Like, there are main characters in this series that we just never got an answer for. Like, I don't know where they went. It was kind of like a vague, like, oh, and they just disappeared. What do you mean? That was a main character. Like, what? So I think the third book, it should have been longer. We should have had more. Like, to be honest, like 400 pages is not enough, but I am happy with the ending. I was like, I think I know where this is going, but if it takes a wrong turn and I'm left devastated, I'm gonna be devastated for like a while. These books have been really playing with my emotions. Here is my finished series and the first book I finished in this video. I'd like to say I'm a fast reader, but I feel like I didn't read that fast because it took me a while to finish it. Usually after finishing a series like that, I feel like I would let it like marinate and I would let myself sit with it for a while. But I think that's what causes my reading slumps too, because after finishing that, how am I supposed to move on? How am I supposed to start a new book and like start from the beginning of a new story? But in this video, I have no choice. I am going to start a new book and I'm gonna choose it right now. I could jump into a new series. There are two that have been at the top of my mind recently, The Fourth Wing and Powerless, but I think we're gonna get to those later in this video because I wanna read just one book and I think we're gonna do Heartless. I went and picked this up at Barnes & Noble today because this has been on my to-read list for a while. My sister has been begging me to read this for so long and I feel like this is a good step after reading this series. So I will see you guys tomorrow to start book 2. I could not sleep last night, either because I was way too excited to have my first pumpkin spice latte of the year, or because I finished that book last night. It was because I finished that book last night. Cheers! Yeah, today's gonna be a good day. Last night I finished those books. and I cannot get them out of my head. So as you may or may not know, there's a series called Caraval by the same author that ties in with Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I didn't know these two tied together at all until I already started reading Once Upon a Broken Heart. So I wish I had read the Caraval series first. I'm gonna take a little time to let Once Upon a Broken Heart marinate and like let it settle in, and then I'll go back and read Caraval, and I'll probably read Once Upon a Broken Heart after I read the Caraval series. I think it'd be too much to like dive into that series so soon after finishing Once Upon a Broken Heart because I really need time to process, to be honest with you. So anyway, I will be reading Caraval. I really want to, but not yet. I don't think I can handle it, to be honest. So what I am going to be reading next is Heartless. I am so excited. I've heard this book is a 10 out of 10. This is just a single book. Like, this is not a series. This is just a single book, and I think that'd be so good. And then we'll read another series this week once I finish this. I'm so excited. It's another fantasy romance, which I'm kind of learning is my favorite. I want to read this one a little differently because I want to annotate. I should have done this when I read Once Upon a Broken Heart, but again, I'm just getting into my reading era, so I'm figuring this shit out. But I bought these yesterday when I picked up this book. They're little page markers. I wish there were cuter colors. I think I'm gonna make this really simple for this book. I'm just gonna use probably the pink ones because I feel like it kind of matches the cover the best. And I am literally only gonna mark off the pages that I really like. Maybe there's like a good quote, maybe I'm feeling a certain way, maybe there's a twist, maybe there's like a really romantic scene. I'm gonna mark off that page just with one color. And then maybe I'll get a little more intense with the annotating, and I'll make like a color-coded annotating page marker, and like each color matches up with like a feeling I'm having when I'm reading. We'll see. But for now, we're just probably gonna use pink, and I'm gonna mark off all the pages that stand out to me. So I have a very busy day today, so we are bringing everything along with me. I know I'm gonna have some time to read throughout my day, so we'll make that happen. But I'm just gonna jump in. There is no time to process the last series because I think I will be brokenhearted if I do. So we're just gonna jump into the next book. I didn't have too much time yesterday to read, but I think I made up for it last night and this morning because I am definitely over halfway through. When I first started reading this book yesterday, it was good, but I wasn't like immediately hooked. But I decided to stick to it. I'm like, I'm gonna keep reading. I've heard it's really good, and I'm so glad I did because it did get really good. It wasn't until page like 120 that I was hooked. Not that the first 120 pages weren't good, but like it took me until that point until I was like, okay, I can't put this book down. Like, I am really obsessed. This book is literally the Alice in Wonderland Queen of Hearts villain origin story. That is literally what this book is. I don't know, honestly, with these fantasy romance books, I don't know if I can handle an ending that isn't good. Like, I think I'd be devastated forever if it wasn't. We are on chapter 34, and to be honest, it's gone by really fast. Like, 300 pages is pretty crazy. I honestly think I could finish this tonight if I like really put my mind to it, because that's my goal. Like, I'm trying to read as many books as possible in this video, so we're getting these done left and right. This book has my emotions all over the place. I don't even know what's going on. I feel sick reading this right now. Like, something really good just happened, but I know in like a page that could change. I can't do this. Look at these bookmarks. Like, oh my god. Please tell me this ends good. Honestly, guys, I'm mad at everyone in this book right now. Like, are you kidding me? It's all just like a lot to process. I just don't agree with the decision making in this book, and it's making me angry. Like, honestly, all of the characters are like making me angry, except one. There's one that I like. I feel like Alice in Wonderland in itself is already like a trip. The riddles, the rhyming, the way the characters talk, and in the book it's just like that too. I can't do this. I can't do this right now. Are we serious? I can't. I'm gonna cry right now. I refuse to accept this. Well, I finished. I held back my tears, I'm not gonna lie. I am a wreck after reading that book. Oh my god. Are you kidding me right now? My emotions are all over the place because wow. I feel like I need to watch Alice in Wonderland now, to be honest. Like, I know the Queen of Hearts character and she's always super angry, super mad. She has this temper where she doesn't even think, she just goes into this like blind rage, you know? We learn in here, it's because she's heartbroken and heartless. And like when you read this book, it all like gets put together. It's like one thing after the other. But also, even to begin with, she already was kind of this like mean-spirited person. That's kind of what I got from it. Like when I first read the first couple chapters, I'm like, damn, this girl is like mean. The way she would talk about people, like she already had this kind of like root of being not the nicest person. Like it all escalated one thing after the other. She just became more and more into that character that we know. Wow. Yeah. I didn't know I needed this in my life, but it was really good. Wow, that was so like evil to do to me because I'm gonna be thinking about this book now for so long. And every time I watch Alice in Wonderland now, I'm gonna like have this at the back of my head. That book last night destroyed me. Like, more than I even anticipated, to be honest. I woke up this morning and I just laid there in bed and stared at the ceiling because I was like, It is day 4 and we are at another turning point in this video because I get to choose the next book we're gonna read this week, and I want to move back into a series. These 2 books have been at the very top of my to-read list over the last couple months. So what I like to do before starting a book is I look at the aesthetic of the book. I literally want to see like the vibe that this book gives. I want to see like the world I'm gonna be stepping into, and between the 2 of these, I feel like The Fourth Wing is like the perfect book for fall, whereas Powerless might be better to start now, summer going into fall. I don't know why I'm kind of feeling that way, so I think we are gonna read Powerless first. I just can't get over these. These are so pretty. So we are gonna be starting with this one first. Based on the aesthetic that I've seen of these books, I feel like this would be perfect to jump into after what we've read so far. In the last 2 books, it's like very much about royalty and princesses and queens. I don't know, that's kind of the vibe I get from the last 2 books I read. So I feel like this one is perfect to go into next, and then we'll read The Fourth Wing. I think I'm making the right decision. I also wanted to get some new page markers to annotate this book. I really want to match the page markers to the color of the cover. So since this one's purple, I'm going to be using the 2 purple shades in this page markers set. I think this is so perfect and so cute. I love the 2 shades of purple in here. I am on page 81 and I feel like this book so far has been really good. Like, I have not been bored whatsoever, but I feel like now it's finally like starting. So I've been pretty locked into this book so far, especially since it's the beginning. Like, it was a little bit confusing, but I feel like that's pretty normal, especially for like a fantasy book I've found. There is just so much to explain and so many like things going on that I have to really sit with it and think about it for a minute, and I'm like, wait, what? So I feel like the beginning of any like fantasy book at this point is like just a lot to take in at once. There's this map in the beginning of the book and I literally flip back and forth to this map like on every page because I'm like, okay, wait, what are we talking about? I need the visual. The characters are really good. I like this book because it has 2 perspectives, so it switches off almost every chapter between the 2 main characters. So it's really good so far. I'm on page 81 and I feel like now it's like finally picking up. My goal is to read at least another 100 pages so I get almost halfway through the book. I I am sitting here just melting over this book right now. Like, I can't do this. My goal for tonight was to get to page 400 so that tomorrow morning I can finish this book. I think it's around 500 pages, so I would knock out those last 100 pages in the morning. But I'm on page 432 and I cannot put this down. I cannot. I have these little page markers as I've showed you guys, and I'm kind of marking off the pages. I've marked off quite a few. And the last couple pages, I have put 4 page markers on each page. Like, you guys, I can't do this. I can't do it. I am screaming right now. I was like, I have to talk about this because I'm sitting here on the couch and I'm just like rocking back and forth. I'm like, if my neighbors could see me, I look insane. I can't do this right now. I mean, oh my God, let me show you this. There's 3 page markers on this page. That is crazy. If that doesn't convince you to read this book, I don't know what's gonna convince you. They're having this scene in the rain right now, and when I tell you it is my dream, like that is my dream date. Well, you guys, I did it. I finished Powerless, and for the past hour while I've been getting ready, I've just been letting it marinate because, oh my God, this book was crazy. I did not know how this book was gonna end because there was just so much going on. Because throughout like most of the story, yes, there were complications, there were like intertwined relationships, there was like things that weren't being said, but it was also just so good and like just so amazing that I looked past all of those complications to just enjoy like the good that was happening. But then at the end of the book, everything went crazy and like all those complications got like extremely heightened. I have to read the second book now, basically. It's just insane. This book was so good. At the end, like now that I've finished, I feel bad for every single character. Like I can see everyone's perspectives. I understand where everyone's coming from. It's honestly all just brutal. Like it's just all brutal, to be honest with you. Like, you know, so far during this video, I have not had to force myself once to read. Reading has been the highlight of my day every day this week, and this book especially, like I was loving this book, as you saw. This book took the longest to get through so far in this video, which makes sense because there was so much in here. Like worlds were being built in front of my eyes. I'm so wrapped up in it. It is crazy. These are the main books in the series. We have Powerless, and then next is Reckless, and then last is Fearless. But there's also ones that go in between these. So there's 1, 1.5, 2, 3, and then 3.5 just came out. So I have 2 choices. I could either jump right into book number 2, which is Reckless. Look at this cover. I mean, these are just the most beautiful covers ever. But I could either jump right into book 2, or I could read book 1.5. It's right after Powerless, and it's called Powerful. And this is told from the perspective of one of the other characters in the book. She was a big part of the story, but she wasn't like a main character to where we really learned about who she was. So that sounds pretty good. I did like her character in the book, so I'm like, I could read her perspective and more about her, and I think everything would tie together even better. But I honestly just want to jump right into Reckless. Like, I need to find out what's happening. I need to just continue with the story. I can't go and learn another perspective yet. So I think we are gonna read Reckless next. So this is what we are gonna be starting today, and it is day 6, so we only have today and tomorrow to read as much of this as we can. time to do my final reflection of this video because what a week. I experienced a lot of emotions this week. I was all over the place. Every single day there was a lot going on, but we have a lot to talk about because I read so much. I've never read 4 books in a week before. So I feel really proud of myself and it was so much fun. Like, long story short, I did not have to force myself to read once. Reading actually became the highlight of my day every day this week. It was so much fun to jump into a book and there are some good ones that I need to talk about right now. We started day 1 with this series by Stephanie Garber. This is Once Upon a Broken Heart. And this series honestly is what got me out of a reading slump. I started day 1 with the 3rd book because the week before I had finished 1 and 2. This series was a 10 out of 10. I love these so much. I would say the 2nd and 3rd are the best. The 2nd is probably the best. The first one I did really like, but it took me a while to really get obsessed with it. Like, it was about 50 to 70 pages until I was like hooked, but it was still really good. Really pretty. I'm just obsessed with the aesthetic of these books. But the second one, I read this one so fast. This one was really good. Like, I was on the edge of my seat. And then the 3rd one, I read this book in like a day and a half. I love this one so much. If I have to be super strict with my rating right now, I would give the first one 4 stars. I would give the 2nd one 5 stars. And I would give the 3rd one 4.5 stars. If I have to really be picky. Otherwise, the series is a 5-star series. I loved it so much. It was so good. And I'm in love with Jax, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know what to do with myself. I loved this series so much that I bought this series this week. This is the Caraval series, and you're supposed to read this before you read these. I messed up, I really did. I didn't even know these tied in together whatsoever until I was already over halfway through the first book, and I was like, well, it's too late now. But I love this series so much that I'm gonna read this series and then I'm gonna reread this series. Honestly, I just have to be back in this world. I can't, like, I absolutely loved these so much, so it convinced me to buy these also. And my problem is once I finish a series, it's so hard for me to jump into a new one. So like with the Hunger Games, as I went on a rant at the beginning of this video, I love that series so much, but every time I've finished a book from that series, it is impossible for me to jump into anything else. And that's what I feared with this one. This series finally got me out of a reading slump. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but once I finished it, I was like, how am I gonna move on? Like, how am I gonna now start a new series or a new book? But because of this video, I had to start a new one and it forced me to continue my reading era. So next, by day 2 in this video, I decided to read Heartless. This book wrecked me. This is a standalone. It's only 1 book, not a series. And this was honestly perfect. Like, I really liked breaking up the books that way. Like, I'd read a series and then read a standalone and then I started a new series. That was like a great way to kind of keep things moving. This book was a 10 out of 10. This is a 5-star. I loved this one so much. This again took me a minute to get into. I think these like fantasy romance books, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of details. So like, you have to give it a chance. That's really what I learned. Like, give yourself the first 100 pages. I know that's a lot. In all of these, I was hooked before 100 pages, but like I have to do that. I think that's my new rule with reading. Like I can't say anything or judge it until I've read over 100 pages. So this book, same thing. It took me a minute to get into it. Like there were no tabs in that first section. But then I was obsessed. I absolutely loved this book. It wrecked me. The ending is really tough. This is basically like the villain origin story of the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. And obviously, like, we know that character. She has like a very bad temper. She's like super angry and she has every reason to be. I feel so bad. I just can't. I've always loved Alice in Wonderland, so I knew I would really like this book too. And everything made sense. Like all the details intertwine with the movies. Everything makes sense. Everything adds up. So this book was so good. But it was rough. This was also the first book I decided to annotate. I didn't really annotate it. I just used these like page markers to kind of mark off passages I really liked. I loved doing that. I think I will now forever annotate books like that. It wasn't anything crazy since it was my first time annotating it. It's just that like I would read passages and I'm like, it spoke to me so well that I'm like, I have to mark this off. Like I have to come back to this later. So after I read that, I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna move on on again. Every time I read a book now, I'm like stuck. Like I cannot move on. I really needed time to process, but I didn't give myself time to process. I was jumping into the next book, and now it was day 4 and I decided to start Powerless. This series, I mean, look at the tabs on this book. Like, I went crazy marking off these pages. There were some pages I put 3 page markers on 1 page. Like, I could not get enough. Also, these covers are so insane. I'm obsessed. I got the UK hardcovers and they're just the most beautiful ever. So starting with Powerless, when I was reading, if you watched my reaction on day 4, I was like, wait, what? This is like very much like the Hunger Games. Like, to the point where things started happening and I was like, I had to set the book down. I was like, am I reading the Hunger Games right now? Like, this is very heavily influenced by it. There was like one page where the main girl grabs a bow and arrow and I'm like, okay guys. Obviously throughout this video, I've talked about the Hunger Games like more than anything. The Hunger Games is like my thing. Obviously I caught on to like all those little details that reminded me so much of it. And I don't know how I feel about that, but regardless, it's really good. This series is insane. As soon as I finished the first one, I moved right into the second one. So the second one is Reckless, but in between these 2 books is like book 1.5. It's called Powerful, and you don't have to read it to move on to book 2. So I decided not to read it, but I kind of regret that. Basically, that book just goes into detail on one of the characters that we don't really know the background for in book 1, so you don't have to read it, but I really like getting those characters developed. I want to know every little intricate detail of their lives, so I do wish I read that one. I think honestly, I'm going to read that one. I think it would have been better to read it right after this one, so it's super fresh in my mind, but I think I'm gonna start that like this week. I am actually going to Europe tomorrow, so I will be buying Powerful there so I can get the UK hardcovers. I might as well, I mean, it just makes sense. But I jumped right into Reckless. This is book number 2, and this book is really good. I love this one so far. I am over halfway through. I will be reading tonight, but I know I'm not gonna finish this. Like, I'm going on a trip tomorrow. I have way too much to do. So I will be bringing this along with me. I think the second half is gonna be even better than the first half, to be honest with you. This series honestly is so good. And honestly, since I've been in a reading slump for so long after reading the Hunger Games series, this would have been the perfect series to jump into afterwards because it's super similar, but also it's just really good. I love this one. I am so excited for book number 3, but I will be reading book number 1.5. That is everything I read this week, and wow, what a week it was. I honestly had such a great time filming this video. This video was one of the most fun videos I've ever filmed. My screen time on my phone went way down this week too, and I really like that. We're not gonna be in a reading slump anymore because now I have an insane list of books that I wanna read. Let me know in the comments if you have any reading suggestions. I think you can tell my taste from what I read this week. Like, I'm very much into the fantasy romance genre. I never thought I would be this kind of reader. Like, I am into it. Thank you guys so much for watching until the very end of this video. I know this was a long one. I really appreciate you guys so much. I love you all, and I will see you guys soon. Bye guys. Mwah.